तमाम साथियों को या अली मदद. Thank you for giving this Garib and Nachis an opportunity to speak today. May Mola Zaman give us Tawfiq, Tahid, Himmat wa Yari, so we can talk, we can listen, and we can learn his batini knowledge. As our tariqa is a tariqa of intellect, our present Imam and our previous Jama, Imam Aka Sultan Muhammad Shah, Salawatullah Alayhi, may my soul be sacrificed to their Imam, has put so much emphasis on the knowledge and wisdom. We all remember Imam talking about the social media, and especially this time and age where information is so much that we are flooded with information. And Mullah have said that there is a flood of information, an example of an ocean. But within that information, we must seek knowledge. And then he goes further, even from the knowledge, we must seek wisdom. The example of the knowledge and the wisdoms are in the hadith where Huzur Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam talks about the knowledge. He gives the example, I am the city of knowledge and Ali is its gate. But when he talks about wisdom, he says, I am a home of wisdom and Ali is its door. So we see information is an example of the entire world, ocean. But when we are talking about knowledge, then it shrinks down to a city. Compared to entire world, a city is a very small place compared to entire world. But when we talk about wisdom, out of the knowledge, we are talking about one single home now. So little wisdom in the city of knowledge. Our tariqa, the batini tariqa of Islam, require us, it is fundamental that we pay attention to the wisdom and especially not to the information, because information is just too much. We're going to get drowned in the flood of information. This morning we were reading this farman of Aka Sultan Muhammad Shah, may our soul be sacrificed to him. He was saying that we are wasting our time in talks. बेकार की बातों में वक्त ज़ाया करते हैं. That's what information is. It's just too much. When it comes to religion and tariqa, we must be serious about the knowledge. And I would like to go even further, a step further, and say that there are two kinds of knowledge, a kitabi ilm and atai ilm, the book knowledge and the given knowledge. Even the book knowledge is too much, and there are hundreds and thousands of books available. One can be a well read, and think that because he have read 10, 20, 100 books, he has all this knowledge. But remember, it is only a book knowledge. But atai ilm, the knowledge which is given to his murid by the Imam Zaman in his or her batin, that is the knowledge, that is the wisdom, that is the essence of our tariqah and the ilm within our tariqah. And as we go through this faramin, and remember we're not going to read entire farman, our subject, even though it is understanding of the farman, but the underlying word is using the knowledge and especially applying the wisdom to understand the faramin. So I will request Zinat Appa to read a farman which I have sent to her, and it's only few lines, and see what Mola Papa say about intellect and the knowledge. Ji.
Farman Mubarak of Maulana Hazar Imam Shah Karim Al Husseini Aga Khan. 31st Atlanta, Georgia, United States of America, March 17, 2018. Khanavadan, Khanavadan, Khanavadan. The younger generation of our Jamaat living in this country has the opportunity to gain excellent education. And as you know, in Islam, education is fundamental. But we say, education for what? For what purpose? Is it education for material wealth? Is it education for peace? Or is it education better to understand Allah's creation? That is the purpose of the education in this. So I say to my spiritual children today, education is a resource, but it is a resource to be used
intellectually,
wisely, and in order to bring quality of life to you and strength of faith in the understanding of Allah's creation. So I say to my spiritual children, keep in mind that in Islam, education has a different purpose in the essence of what it is seeking to achieve for you. Then would it be the case? That would be the case for non-Muslims. So I say to my spiritual children, keep in mind that is the purpose of education. Please recite the Holy Salah.
Subhanallah, Subhanallah. Thank you so much. So the line out of this paragraph and a half, where Imam talked about how intellect plays a role in understanding Allah's creation. And the Farman that we will read today, we will talk about the creation of Adam. That's why I chose this Farman to be read up front, so we can see it is not only that our previous Jama, Imam Sultan Muhammad Shah, may our soul be sacrificed to their Imam, is talking to us 100 years ahead of this Farman Mola Baba is giving us in this Jama. And they are both talking about the intellect, the use of the intellect, the center of the intellect in our tariqah, in understanding of our tariqah. Because our tariqah is not Shariat, because if we are talking about Shariat, then Shariat is do as I have told you to do. Bas, baat khatam ho gayi. You don't need intellect. आपको सोचने की जरूरत नहीं है. You don't need to have any kind of thinking. You just do what they tell you to do, and that's it. But that is not our tariqah. Our tariqah encourages us to use the human intellect. And that is the teaching of our Imams all the way back to Mullah Ali's time. We all remember this one call of Mullah Ali, where Mullah Ali says, ask me before you lose me. Kya matlab hai? What does it mean? Mullah saying, if you don't understand your tariqah, if you don't understand your Quran, if you don't understand the instruction, the Shariat, or whatever you're doing in your religion, then ask. Don't just blindly follow. This is not the time of blind faith. This is the time of intellectual faith. I'm going to read this 3-4 lines from a Urdu Farman book, the Das Rouhani Farman. It is all Farman from Maulana Sultan Muhammad Shah, may our soul be sacrificed to their Imam, September 13, 1899. This is not our reference Farman, but I'd like to read this 2 lines out of here. It is in Urdu, but I will paraphrase in English. तुम तुम्हारे दीन की बातें अच्छी तरह से समझो. You must understand about your religion. जो जानते हैं वो और भी ज़्यादा सीखें. Whoever knows about it, they need to learn more. जो सीखे नहीं है वो सीखे. Those who does not know must learn. सुनोगे तो तुम्हें पता चलेगा. अगर नहीं पढ़ोगे, नहीं सुनोगे, तो कैसे पता चलेगा कि इस्माइली दीन क्या है? Mullah says, if you listen, if you read, and if you do not listen, then how would you know what is your tariqa Ismaili deen? How would you know? इसके आगे एक 1900 का फरमान है इसी किताब के अंदर. उसकी सिर्फ मैं एक लाइन से आपको मिसाल देना चाहता हूँ. I'll give you one single, not even a whole line, half a line, to give an example of what Mullah is talking about. That if you don't listen, if you don't read, how will you know what Ismaili tariqa is? And that line is, it says, खुदा का नूर रोशनी है. That's all. I'm going to read from this line. Now, in this Farman, Mullah said, the light of Allah, the Noor of Allah is light. How do we understand that? Because most of us think, most of us, meaning most of the Ismailis, that when we will receive the didar of the Imam, all of a sudden, one day we will be sitting in ibadat, a light will come on all of a sudden, and we will see the nur. Am I right in this assumption? I would say the 99% people will agree with me. That's how we perceive, that's how we think, that is our thought process. Lekin, now think about the light which Allah has breathed into Adam. Did He breathe His noor into his eyes? क्योंकि लाइट जो है वो देखने की होती है ना, रोशनी आंखों से ताल्लुक है. The connection between the light is to do with our eyes. But Allah said, I have breathed my soul, my light, into Adam. कहाँ से? How? Where? कान से. Allah breathed His light in Adam's ear, not in his eyes. So now look at this Farman. The Allah's Nur is light, and Allah has breathed in His soul, the light, into Adam through his heirs. अब ये दो बातें हो गई. Now we are talking about two different things. Matter of fact, there is a great tradition of Imam Jafar Sadiq, and I have pulled that thing in front of me over here, and inshallah, if anybody like, I can also share that with everybody, where Imam Jafar Sadiq talks about 16 kind of nur. How many did I say? Not one, not two. 16 kind of nur. And he gives this tradition and credit to Prophet Muhammad. In the morning, after the morning namaz, Mullah will pray this with the Jamaat at that time. And he will say, my grandfather, he's talking about Prophet Muhammad, he used to pray this after the morning prayers, so I do the same thing. And he will recite this prayer. There are 16, but today we will only talk about 4. We will only talk about 4. Allahumma Jalli Nuran fi kalbi. O my Lord, grant a nur for my heart. I thought the nur is to do with the eyes. And then in the story of Adam, he breathed in his nur into his air. Now here, Mullah is saying, that grant me a nur for my heart. Wa nuran fi samahi. Grant me a nur for my ear. Wa nuran fi basri. Third level par for my eyes. And wa nuran fi lisani. Fourth one for my tongue. So let's talk about this 4 first. And we are talking about how do we understand where Mullah said that Khuda's nur is light. Can you imagine what kind of light the nur would be for our heart? Eyes ke liye, aankhon ke liye, for our eyesight is easy to understand. कि खुदा का नूर नजर आएगा, रोशनी होगी, whatever notion that we may have for our ibadat and our nur and didar. ठीक है. That is correct. I'm with you on that part, but it's not 100% correct. It is correct, but not 100% correct. First, nur is for our heart. उसको नूर-ए-ईमान कहते हैं. Nur-e-Iman, the nur of the faith. Because without the nur of the faith, Nur-e-Iman, हम अपने मजहब में आगे बढ़ ही नहीं सकते हैं. क्योंकि that is the essential and the very first step. क्योंकि जब तक हमारे दिल के अंदर ईमान ना हो, the faith ना हो, how can we even move forward with our tariqah? First for the heart. Second for the ear. The nur that was breathed into Adam and the nur which Imam-e-Zaman has breathed into us. Question. Has Imam breathed his nur into us? क्या ख्याल है आपका? What everybody think on this line? Has Imam breathed his nur into us? When we go to Imam and say, Ya Mullah, we are ready to elevate our soul and we wanted to do ibadat, and we wanted to seek your nur, and we want to come close to your nur. Please grant us a key. What is the key? Isme Azam, bowl. So Imam gives us a bowl. Now you can say, but Aziz sir, there was a ism, a word. I thought you were talking about nur. That is exactly what I'm talking about, because most of the time we do not understand our tariqah, and with apology, I'm not saying that. That was in the Farman. The most of you do not understand your tariqah Ismaili Deen. When Imam gives this Isme Azam to us, he is actually breathing his soul, his nur in our air, as he has breathed into Adam. How does he do it? Simple example. Let's say the Isme Azam is like a handkerchief. He takes the Isme Azam handkerchief and he puts his soul, he puts his nur, and he closes the Isme Azam और आपको दे देता है. आपके अंदर, आपके कानों से वो नूर goes into your heart. Now, remember, it is closed like this. But when you recite Isme Azam in the way you should recite Isme Azam, then Isme Azam opens up. And when Isme Azam opens up, what happens? The nur which was already granted to you in advance, just by you wishing that you want to get closer to the nur, actually nur is already been granted to you, given to you. It is already in you if you are with Isme Azam. Subhanallah. We should be shukr guzar. We should do sajda. We should have tears in our eyes. Then look at how merciful our Imam is. When we say we wanted to have your nur, he already have granted the nur to us. Unfortunately, afsos ke saath, we did not realize that he has already given us the nur. Only thing now we have to do is open that Isme Azam, so may see the nur. अब ये थर्ड किस्म का नूर, the nur of the eyes. When the Isme Azam opens and you see the nur, that is correct now. That will be like a light. Now people have asked me in the past what this light will look like. How would this Garib and Nachiz, Gulame Imam would know? But I can tell you this, you will have no doubt in your mind when you receive that light. When the Isme Azam open and when you see the light, you will have no doubt in your heart. And then comes the fourth one, the nur for your tongue. Again, the most of the Mu'mineen, most of the Jamaat think that if you receive that light, then that will be the end of it, and you will be happy, and you don't have to do anything else after that. I like to make a correction here, with your permission. Once you have Imam's nur, then Imam's nur will work in you through your tongue. in one of the banquet in I believe it was 1986 or 1978 in New York. I can find that and share with you, where Imam says, we are the one who will give this light to others. What do we understand by this statement? Think of this word. Imam did not say, I will give this light to others. What did Imam say? He said, we will give this light to others. Because Imam ka jo noor hai na, the noor of the Imam will manifest, will come to others with the permission of the Imam through मोमिनीन्स. उसको उर्दू में बहुत अच्छी तरह से कहते हैं कि इमाम के नूर की तजलियात मोमिनों से होती है. The manifestation of Noor Imam comes through momins. Because when Imam gives the light, then there is no problem. Imam has the Noor, he gives the light. But the miracle of the Imam is when he gives the light and manifests through a मोमिन. अगर इमाम बादशाह है तो क्या है, लेकिन जब वो एक मोमिन को बादशाह बनाता है तो बड़ी बात है. Because not only he is a king, but he can make you as he has made Adam and other prophets and other dais and peers. How did Khoja Jamaat receive Imam's Noor, Imam's Isme Azam? Imam's Noor manifested through Pir Sadruddin, Pir Shams, Pir Hassan Kabiruddin. Those were the Mu'mineen whom Noor of the Imam has manifested, and then through them it came to the Jamaat. Acha. So now let's come to our original Farman that we were supposed to discuss. This Farman is of September 29, 1899, and I believe the Nadapa has distributed this amongst all the listeners on this line. Hazrat Maulana Dani Salamat Datar Sarkar Imam Aka Sultan Muhammad Shah made this following Farman. May our soul be sacrificed to their Imam, says. And remember, we're not going to read the entire Farman. We're going to see how can we apply the knowledge in the understanding of the Farman. Our subject is knowledge and wisdom. Mullah says, I will now make a Farman regarding the fundamental of your faith, Asul-e-Deen. What is fundamental of your faith? Asul-e-Deen? Mullah asked, and then reply, every man has his thought on the essential and the essence. उर्दू के अंदर अल्फाज है, जो इंसान होगा उसकी नजर असल पर होगी, कोर के ऊपर होती है उसकी नजर. आगे मौला फरमाते हैं, and you will see why we have chosen this Farman for today's session. Amongst you there are some who know nothing about their faith. Do you see that? What Mullah is saying? Amongst you there are some who knows nothing about their faith. And then Mullah explained why we don't know anything about our faith. Mullah explains. When you have a spare moment, you should think, who is creator? What is creation? Have you ever had such thoughts? If one asks you, who are you? Then you will say, I am my father's son. Rather, you will be able to go as far back as a few generations. A bit more intellectual would go even further. A bit more intellect, one will reach back to Hazrat Adam. And then that will be all. Now, before we read the second paragraph, where Imam is asking us that if I ask you, and if I ask you who you are, you may say, my name is Aziz, and my father's name is so and so, my grandfather and his grandfather. But that's it. You will not be able to connect yourself all the way to Adam. And how do we connect ourselves to Adam? How? Adam of our time came close to 7,000 years ago. Do you know how many generations back that would be? Close to 350 to 400 generations back. I cannot even go further than my grandfather or his grandfather. But that's it. How can I go 4 generations back to Adam? 2 questions for us, for food for thought, to keep in back of your mind. 2 questions. By asking this question, which is not even possible for us today, is Mola tricking us? Khuda na khasta, nauz-billah. Or second question, or is it possible for us to go all the way back to Adam? Think about those 2 questions. One, is Mola just saying that to trick us, or is Mola saying it is possible for you to go all the way back to Adam? Keep that in your mind for a second. Let's come to the next paragraph and see what Mola is saying. You must think, from where did Hazrat Adam came? Who sent Hazrat Adam? Wait a minute. First he is asking us to go all the way back to Adam. Now he is asking, who was Adam? Who sent him? How would I know who sent Adam? I cannot even get back to Adam. Listen to this again. You must think, from where did Hazrat Adam came from? Who sent Hazrat Adam? The insan, the man who is Sufi, will grasp this thought. वो इस विचार को पकड़ लेगा. जी सूफी हसे ना ये ख्याल ने पकड़ी ले से શું કહેશે કે અગર મારા મોલાએ કીધું છે ને તો આ ઇન્શાલ્લાહ જરૂર પોસિબલ છે. He will grasp that thought. Now, is it possible for us to know who was Adam, where did he come from, and who sent him? Because in our mind, due to the lack of perfect and the true knowledge of the Imam, when we think of Adam, our mind wanders into the heavens. That Allah one day was just sitting. He had nothing to do. He was bored out of his mind. And he said, what should I do? What should I do? All of a sudden a thought came to his mind. How about I create human? And he fetched angels to go get some soil from the land. Angels comes back empty-handed. Allah said, what happened? Why did you not bring some soil as I ordered you, commanded you to bring? Angel said, Ya Khudawand, soul was crying and soul was telling us that if you take me and your Lord mold me and make a human, then those human will do bad deeds on the land. Think for a second. Does that make any logic? What is illogic about this thought? And I know all of us has this thought in our mind. If I'm wrong, please do tell. What is illogical about this? One, remember angels, they are there to follow the command of Allah. They cannot say this or that. I thought this and I thought that. They cannot. So what kind of angels were there who came back empty-handed? They listened to the soil and not to their Rabb. Imagine. Think. And then the soil, the matti, the earth knew more about the future and the human than the angels. How can that be? Angels should know more. How can soil, the land knew that if you make the human, then human will do bad deeds on the land? An angel did not know. How can it be? Have we ever thought of that? That's exactly what Imam is saying. Have you ever thought about that? No, we have not. At the end of this class, what I like to do, I would like to share a 28 illogical question comes to mind when we think of Adam. 28. We just talked about 2. Because if you think of Adam, who he was, and if you do, inshallah, you will reach to that point, who Adam was. You will also reach to that point, who sent him, and you will reach to a point, where did he come from? And Imam says one more thing after that. What was before him? Oh my God, I thought Adam was the first human on this earth. Imam is asking us, what was before him? What was before Adam? Is this possible? Yes, it is possible. Why would I say that? Because my Imam is asking me a question, and he will never ask me a question and give me a task which was not possible for a mu'min. It is 100%, not 99%, 100% possible for us to know who the Adam was, who sent him, where he came from, and what was before him. It is 100% possible. That is the knowledge and the wisdom within the knowledge in our tariqah, and this is only possible You think any other Muslim around the world have this thought in their mind? No. Why do we have it? Because we have a living Imam, we have the knowledge of Imam, we have Isme Azam of Imam, and we have Ibadat of the Batin in our tariqah. And because of that, this has become possible for the Mu'mineen who like to walk on the path of the knowledge and the wisdom. Maulana Aka Imam Sultan Muhammad Shah, may my soul sacrifice to the Imam, in one of his farman in this Rani book says, इल्म वाली रूह दर्जा ब दर्जा ऊपर चढ़ती है. The soul with the knowledge will elevate step by step by step. इल्म वाली रूह, जिसके पास इल्म नहीं होगा ना, जिसके पास इल्म नहीं होगा वो कभी भी तरक्की नहीं कर सकेगा, क्योंकि इल्म के साथ with the knowledge, and which knowledge? Do we remember which knowledge I am talking about? Imam's true batini knowledge, the wisdom we are talking about. With the wisdom, the true knowledge of the Imam, and the soul with the knowledge will increase, will elevate his soul. लेकिन किस तरह से? How? Step by step by step. Imam in his current Jama says, I want you to come closer and closer to the link of the Noor of the Imam. Link by link, step by step. Step by step. So what are these steps? What are these steps in our tariqah? That would be another question that somebody could ask. What are these steps? Do we know about these steps in our tariqah? And if we don't, then that is due to our lack of knowledge. So I'm going to come back to this farman again so we can understand what Adam is and what Imam is saying in this farman, and how do we apply the knowledge and wisdom to understand this farman. Mullah says, you have seen that rains fall from the skies onto the earth. When it falls on the earth, it dries out. The rain that gathers drop by drop flows into the river, and then river flows into the sea. All water finally return to the sea. In the same manner, your soul is the origin, its abode is very big. The one who does not, listen to this, one who does not understand with intellect has no desire of rising higher, is like the water that falls on the earth and which dries out. There is one more line after that, but I'm going to stop here and let's talk about this. In our tariqah, the mono-reality tariqah and monotheism tariqah. Monotheism, what is monotheism? Allah is on the heaven and the human, we garib and poor, on the earth. No connection. No connection. Allah is subhanahu wa ta'ala and we are gulam on the earth. Like the raindrop from the cloud. Once the water leaves the cloud, there is no connection. That is monotheistic way of thinking. But in our तरीका, जहां पर मोनो रियलिटी की बात होती है, मोनो रियलिटी, व्हाट इज मोनो रियलिटी? मोनो, oneness, reality, the higher understanding of oneness. So again, question: have we come to this world like a raindrop from the cloud and totally disconnected from the Imam, or the other understanding? Have we come to this earth like a sun ray out of the sun? Sun ray out of the sun. Does sun ray ever get disconnected from the sun? Look outside. देखें ये रोशनी. This sunlight never ever disconnect from the sun. That is our tariqa. We are always and always connected to the soul, the single soul of the Imam. We have never disconnected from the soul of the Imam. So our example is like a sun ray. And Imam is the sun, the Noor, from which we have never disconnected. If we understand our position. What did Imam say in New York? We will give light to others. Look at this. It's not the sun, but the sun ray is shedding light on the earth. Or is it sun? Both true. But sun is too bright. Sun is too hot. Imam's Noor, if he manifests himself directly on us, we will not be able to bear that. हमारी बर्दाश्त से बाहर होगा. We will not be able to control. But sun ray, yes, we can take that. We will be able to absorb the sunlight and the vitamins from the sunlight. Our example is of a sunlight. When we die, just like in the evening, sunlight goes back to the origin, into his origin place, into the sun. We will return back to our origin, into the Imam. Into the Imam. I believe this was easy, a good examples for us to understand. But still, if you have a question, do ask. A question or 10 questions, because if you don't understand, and if I leave you with the ill concept, ill thought, then it is not beneficial to you, nor it is beneficial to me. It must be clear concept. Acha. So last line of this, Mullah says, those who aspire to rise higher in order to reach the peak practice more bandagi and foster more love too. कि जिसको ऊपर जाने की ख्वाहिश होती है ना, the people who wish to be one with the Imam already talked about intellect. And then he gives two more conditions. First was intellect, the knowledge, the wisdom. ilm. And then two more conditions. What are those? Second, they do more bandagi. Third, they love more. क्योंकि जिसको इमाम का इश्क नहीं है, one who does not love imam, they will not be able to do a perfect bandagi. And one who does not do bandagi will not be able to elevate their soul. And one who does not have a ilm, he and she would not even know how to do bandagi. If opportunity given, we will talk about Isme Azam and Ibadat and how to recite Isme Azam and how to do bandagi, inshallah. But that is not our topic today. Keep that in your mind. Write down this chapter in your book, and inshallah we will talk about that. Mullah goes further, and this will be the last paragraph we're going to read today, and then we will open the floor for questioning. Amongst you, those who were more intellectual than you, followed my path. तुम में से जो ज्यादा अकल वाले थे, मौला फरमाते हैं, वो मेरे रास्ते पे चले. Those who were more intellectual have followed my path, Imam says. And those who were not with intellect, without knowledge, without wisdom, they do not follow Imam's path. Because Imam के रास्ते पर चलने के लिए अक्ल और इल्म की जरूरत होती है. Amongst you, those who were more intelligent than you followed my path. For instance, Mansur followed it. For him, paradise was all present. But he would say, why should I be content with just the paradise until I have tested the essence? I shall not retreat. I shall start ahead. For Mansur, for our dais and peers, heaven was always present. Matter of fact, for you and for us, as an Ismaili, if I tell you this, that we do not have to do a single thing today to be in Jannat, to be in paradise, would you believe me? Because today we are already in paradise with Imam because we are Ismaili. Because we are Ismaili. We don't have to do a thing, single thing. But it is not about paradise. Who wants paradise? Because Imam says even the paradise is like a jail cell. No. One who is intelligent with the intellect, what they would say, I want to get to the core of it, to the essence of it. I want it to be one with Imam. That's what they would say. When one is not able to know the origin, then what is gain? मौला फरमाते हैं कि जिसको यही पता नहीं है कि उसका origin क्या है, तो फिर क्या फायदा? One who does not able to know the origin, the essence, then what is gain? Murtaza Ali has made a farman, he who would know himself, it is if he know God. The one who know himself, it is just like he would know God. But I know myself, I know what my name is, but do I know God? What is Maula Ali saying? What is Maula Ali saying? This is the bottom line. The underline, the essence of this reading and today's class. Maula Ali says, one who knows himself will know God. One who knows himself more will know God more. मेरे अंदर क्या चीज़ है जिसको मैं पहचानूं कि मैं खुदा को पहचानूं. મારા અંદર એવી શું ચીજ છે કે જેને ઓળખું તો હું ખુદાને ઓળખું. What is in me that if I recognize, then I will recognize Allah. You know what I have in me? The soul that Allah had breathed into Adam. The soul is in me today as Bani Adam. As the children of Adam, we have the same soul of Allah. What did I say? I need to repeat this again. It's so powerful. You must know who Adam was. And Adam is hidden in you. The soul that Allah had breathed into Adam as a Bani Adam, the children of Adam, is hidden in you. If you recognize that soul of Allah in you, you will recognize Allah. That is what this Farman is all about. This Farman is close to 120-year-old. We must have read this Farman hundreds of times. This is not a new Farman. But have we ever given a thought? Have we ever sat down and said, Ya Mola, I wanted to understand this Farman. I want to be one with you. I want to understand and I want to recognize you. I want to know who Adam is and how can I get to Adam. If you go in your personal world through knowledge, through ibadat, through the love of the Imam, then you will recognize your soul, you will know Adam, you will know who sent Adam, what was before Adam, and all the secret of our tariqah will reveal, will open. The door of the batin will open. The door of the batin is open. One question remaining. But we need a key to open the door. Do we have a key? Yes. Isme Azam is that key to the door of batin. So, let me stop here. I think this is a good point to stop on, to ponder on. So let me stop and then we can open the floor for questioning. Inshallah, we will pray to Mawla Baba to give us tawfiq, tahid, himmat wa yari, so we can observe this ilm and inshallah we can uplift our soul step by step. Ji.
Okay, Faizan, shall we open the floor and the chat?
Yes, the chat is open to everybody now. That was such an exciting talk. Thank you so much.
Shukr, alhamdulillah. Ali Allah is great. Mawla Baba is so merciful.